Good evening. This is K1BZ. Got some a little bit of history to tell you about. I had a ham friend come by this afternoon at my apartment building here, and it was kind of a pleasure to see this guy because he's a good friend. I've been knowing him for a while, and let's bring that light back here a little ways so it doesn't screw up my face so much. Anyways, okay, I wanted to tell you, most of my keys around here that I have are vibroplex keys, and they're commonly known as what they call a lightning bug. They're a semi-automatic key, and some of them are what they call a vibro keyer, and that's it's all mechanical in it, and it's works with electronic here. Now, one of my previous videos tells about these keys. I get straight keys too. I get two of them. But this key I just got today was made in 1927. And 1927, it was called it's called the lightning bug, the lightning. And I'll show it to you. It's right here. This is it right here. Okay. And you know what's different about this key? This key is this part right here. See, most of them are rounded off. And the pendulum is still here. In the video here it shows it's on the opposite side, but it's not. It's on the other side. See the pendulum right here? Okay. So when you go to use the key, I'm trying to show it the best I can. You can't really see it too well because it's, yeah, it's a little bit better. See how it hits it? It's that little damper right there. So that's what that is, you see. And it's got very little moving parts on it. It's got this little this spring right here. I can't see it myself. Yeah, there it is. See, right here. That's the little tension spring there. It does all the it does the dits, and the ones on this side here hit it this way is the DAWs. And you take your thumb and you hit the key on this side here, this side right here, and that's the dits. Take your thumb, hit this part here, and that's your DAWs. See, it's called, so just here's some little pictures of it right here. See, and there's the underneath circuitry. See, I'll tell you, these suckers are heavy. It's a heavy key. It's a nice key. I had one like this here a number of years ago. It's even got that shorting bar on the side there. And it gets stolen out of my car. Now, who the hell would want to steal a telegraph key? Probably need it worse than I do. Now you see, a lot of these CW operators used to have a box to put the key in. It's right here. See, got this wood box. You close it up, lock it up. Got a handle on top so you can carry it around. So, and I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna try to get it set up, get some weights on it, so I can use it in the car. Right now, there's a contest going on from 10 to 11 o'clock. It's a high-speed um, CW, Morse Code Club. I'll let you listen to it for a second here. See how fast these things, you guys, are going? Boy, they're going right along. They're going to go speed. So, anyways, the other thing I want to tell you about is there's a website called the Reverse Beacon Network. I'm telling you now, that is really something. I didn't think it was any good, but it really is. And what that is there's spotters around the world, and if they hear your call and hear you working somebody, they'll spot it and they'll put it on the internet, and it goes to one particular outfit, and then they post it on the internet of what your signal sounds like, and they do it in dB. You know, they don't do it in S units; they do it in dB. So you know, anything higher than 5 dB is pretty damn good. And of course, you know, it all depends on band conditions too. But I list all frequencies from 630 meters all the way to 2 meters, and so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you don't have the reverse beacon network programmed into your computer, I really suggest you do. You get that program. It's really good. It tells you what your signal sounds like on the other side of the world or anywhere else for that matter. Let you know that you're being heard in different countries and different places. You know, you can't always rely on your next door neighbor to tell you what your signal's like. You have to get it from somebody else, which is really good. So I guess that's pretty much it. Was one of the things I was going to touch base on, and it's on digital. One thing I wanted to tell you, there's that ham I was telling you that I helped the other day on his Olivia. He's had some problems with, and he called it the footprint. And you know, I'm not really sure what he means by footprint, and I'm still trying to figure that out. And I think he says the footprint has to match the other signal. And I'm still trying to figure out what he means by footprint. You know, I think it has some. Well, it has something to do with the waterfall, seeing the signals on the waterfall, and in this one, and he says he can't decode it. Well, there's a couple of things you want to be aware of. You got to make sure all your audio settings are properly set up in your computer, and your interface, if you're using an outboard interface. If you get a built-in interface in your rig, I mean, then you got to make sure that's all set up properly. You got to make sure your USB codec connections are properly installed. It's USB codec. and they're part of the USB, things on the side of your computer that goes to your interface. Excuse me. The thing is, you got to do is when you install a program and get it going, is that there's a couple of things here, like with FT8 and JS8 call, you got to be hooked up to the internet. And the reason why I tell you that is because of the computer clock that's in your computer. It has to be synchronized with a program, otherwise it won't work, and you won't be getting decoding. I think that's what he was talking about. I just happened to think of that. I'll have to tell that to him tomorrow if I hear him on the radio. But Dennis, if you're listening to this, watching this video, AI 7G, and you know who you are, and I know who you are, and you're having problems with decoding. See, that's what you got to do. You got to make sure that you're hooked up to the internet, and make sure it's synchronized, your radio and your computer especially. Your computer is synchronized with your the National Bureau of Standards. The National Bureau of Standards. It's NIST. That's the wording of it. So, and there's a few of them programs out there that are free. Some of them aren't free. Like Dimensions 4. It's free. Yeah, but they'd like you to make, a little donation just to help them out. And $10 a year is not a lot of money. And so, yeah, get the program, get Dimensions 4, or if you find a free one that works just as good, get that too. I don't care, as long as you get that computer program through the internet and get it so it synchronizes your computer so that you can use your program to decode all those digital signals, and you'll have no problem. But you got to be hooked up to the internet. If you're not hooked up to the internet, I mean, and how do you find that out? So you watch on your here we go. Okay, so it's hang on. Oh God. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, say this is the bar. This is the bar on your computer, on your program. When you go to transmit, or you watch the clock on it, and when you go to start transmitting, you'll see what happens is the green line will start, and it'll do this number, and it gets almost to the end, and then it'll shut off, because it's like a 13 second duration. FT4 is something like 6 or 7 seconds. JSA is around 13. FDA, I think, is around around 9 or 10 seconds or something like that. But it has to do one of these numbers, and then it goes back, and then it starts all over again. And in that little duration, this is the length of your transmission. But if you're on JS8, I mean, it'll do that, and then it'll stop. The transmitter will stop. It'll start up again and start putting out another sequence of audio and a transmission. And it makes and breaks, and it has a couple of seconds, and that's good to let the rig cool off a little bit. So, anyways, so just make sure that your internet is connected to your computer, and your program is synchronized with a computer, and and you've got the National Bureau of Standards locked in as a program. And some of them are free, some of them aren't. I do. It's a site there called thinkingman.com. Thinkingman.com. That's mine, and it's Dimensions 4. So got that out of the way. So just a little bit of history on that vibroplex key. You know, the lightning bug here, the 1927 model, right there. There it is. And the reverse beacon. And I hope I gave you some valuable information. It's valuable to me. It helps me in my ham career. I wish I had this stuff about 40 years ago. I would have been golden, but we didn't have that back then. All we had was telephones. Hey, Joe, guess who's on the air? Hey, you know what? I don't mean to hold you up, but there's a funny thing on. It just made me laugh. It's on QRZ tonight. It's about. It's a trivia question. It says, why did the Federal Communications Commission shut down amateur radio during the 1940s? Why did they shut it down for a period of time? Well, it's because of the Second World War. And I can tell you some history about that. And the reason for that is because, you know, a lot of your pilots and military personnel in the Imperial Japanese Army and military were ham radio operators. And, you know, and they would listen for transmissions from the mainland, from the United States, so they could hone in on the different cities. So they just ceased all transmissions. And anyways, so also, and yeah, and that's why they ceased all transmissions. You know, as soon as Pearl Harbor got bombed, you know, Roosevelt says no more transmissions. You know, so the Federal Communications said radio silence. So they did radio silence for many years until the war ended. So that's a little bit of the history there. So, anyways, just thought I'd give you that little bit of information there too. You know. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you got any questions or comments, criticisms, saying how much you hate it and hate me and everything else, if you'd like to rip my guts out and all that sort of stuff, well, that's fine with me too. And just drop me a line. I'm good in QRZ. You know, CLYDE, BLAKE 75 at yahoo.com. Drop me an email. Call me on the phone. Grab the hold of me when I'm walking down the street and start beating the you know. Yes, I just thought of it. And the question was in QRZ, it said, what was the meaning of the radio silence? Radio silence. And I read that as, it's because when K1PZ came on the air. Yeah, that would be a good question. We got a radio club meeting tomorrow. We're on Zoom. I gotta put that question to them, and I'll give that for an answer. They'll all laugh like hell. So, anyways, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.